All right.
We're live. Yay. We're together in the same room this time, actually.
Watch
so
out.
it's kind of cool. I'm going to try to remember to look at you guys, but it's hard because I'm looking at like 14 screens. But anyway, welcome to our second live stream. This is Brian Deckard.
Yep. Hi. Welcome.
He's the owner. He's got his name all over everything, as you can see here. And what we want to talk about today, since our first live stream, we talked about your website and why it's important to have one. We wanted to talk about marketing and advertising your website because what good is it if nobody knows it's there? It's kind of like putting a flyer up on one of those buoys in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. I don't think it works so well.
Not so much.
And we got like 3 questions. Well, we got 2 questions and then one person asked the question twice, but we're going to allow it. We'll allow it.
Absolutely.
So if you missed our first one, I would encourage you to go check it out. It's going to be on our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, the marketing group. Like there's a lot of places that you can watch these. And we do want your questions and we want your topic suggestions too. So if there's something that you really wish we would talk a little bit more about, please let us know.
Yes. Yep. That's what we're putting these live events on for is to take the feedback from you guys so that we can give you the best information to help you succeed. So that's our goal. That's our goal.
We want you guys to be successful. So talking about marketing and advertising your website, we want to talk about search engines. So before we start talking about search engine marketing and search engine optimization, we're going to do a quick review of what search engines are. Yeah.
Okay. So why don't we head on over to, let me get it set up here.
Can you guess the first one we're going to look at?
So obviously the first one we're going to look at is this bad boy.
The Google
machine. Yes.
So that's the most popular search engine. So people are typing in search queries, different terms, different words and phrases and different combinations of those in this. And then they're giving you a result of different websites that are relevant to what you just put in that little bar.
Right.
What's another one?
And another very, very popular one would be Bing. So there you go.
Yep. Those are like the top 2. So those are search engines.
Those are search engines. And then since we're going to be talking about it, we're going to talk about what a browser is.
Yes. Because those 2 things can be confusing.
Yes. I've heard so many people talk to me about, their search engine and this and that, and I can't find it.
Google makes it confusing because Google is a search engine, but then they also have a browser.
But that browser is called
Chrome,
which is the #1 browser being used. And
it's most compatible with most websites.
Yes. Yeah. It's very nice.
Now that we got that out of the way, we know what search engines are. We talked about browsers. We want to talk about your website and the parts of your website because it's not just a piece of paper put onto the computer. So there's different components to your website that are really important.
Well, there's also, and on the browser thing, there's also more than just Chrome. We have Firefox, which is a great browser. Internet. I hate to even mention it.
Why are you saying that? Internet Explorer. Say Internet Explorer.
Internet Explorer, but it's so outdated. It's so bad.
It just fights with a lot of websites and loading and stuff.
Horrible. So, but then you got other kinds of browsers out there like a DuckDuckGo. You've got Brave.
So many more things.
Well, there's a lot
showing
of
showing off.
Trying not to.
But so are you done talking about browsers now?
Yeah,
Did I go too fast? All right.
Yeah.
No, you could talk about them all day.
I can.
All right.
Yes, I can definitely. I can definitely talk. So why don't we? Okay, so let's get off of the browser thing. So shall we talk about the parts of the website?
Parts.
Okay.
Let's do that.
So so the whole reason for this live broadcast, stream, whatever you want to call it, is to talk about the parts of your website. Sorry about the noise.
Yeah, we got a little road noise. We're on Manatee Avenue, y'all. So, if there's an ambulance that comes by or something like that, say a little prayer and just.
Yep. And when a motorcycle drives by, it's even better. Yeah.
Yes.
So those of you that know where we're in this really old, awesome building.
It's cool.
Yeah, very old, but the windows are the original. So they're
Then-
single paned.
Yeah. Okay. So now website parts.
Okay. Yeah. So website parts. So we're gonna highlight a couple of websites that we have built. And the reason why I want to highlight these is because they have everything that you would look for in a website that has been created correctly.
Professionally and
Yes.
correctly, so that
Yeah.
it looks like you want it, like you want your storefront to look when somebody comes in the door. They
Yes.
want to know what you're about.
Yep, exactly. So the first one we'll look at is Agile Brain Group. They're out of Maryland. Fantastic peoples. And what they do is training, consulting, and recruitment. But what they focus on is this, it's called Scrum, and it's how to organize and do all kinds of cool stuff. Business. They're awesome, and they are busy. And
It's because they have a great website.
they do have a great website, and and the way we funnel people to their events, which is how people sign up and book their appointments to attend
Yep.
these huge, right now they're webinars.
Right now they're webinars.
Yes.
So they have their 2 calls to action
Mhm.
right here above the fold before you have to scroll or do any hard work with your finger.
Right. So let's just talk about the parts of a website. So when we're looking at this website, we have up here on the very top, we would call this a subheader because it's in the header, but it's just a small part of the header. And the header would be this.
The bigger part.
Yeah. This whole section
Has the
header.
logo in it,
Yep.
all the page tabs. I like that header where it has the social links right at the top. Because
Oh, yeah.
I'm one of those people, when I land on your website, I'm going to look at your social links.
Yeah, well, and you know me, I'm definitely one of those that
Mhm.
I will troll you to find out if I'm going to do business with you. So
Yeah, he's judgy. And
I'm
there are other
very
judgy people out there. I'm one of them. I like to look at your Facebook page and see if you have any recent posts.
Yeah.
If you're not engaging with your clients or your potential customers, then I'm not real sure if you have enough time to take care of my needs. So I judge.
all about judging.
Just
and real quick, throw out Kate. Love you too.
Aw.
Okay, yeah, she sent a little heart. It
How
was pretty
sweet.
cool. Yeah. So so we've got the header, and right now the industry standard for a header is the more simple you can make it, the better.
Right. Make it simple, but
Yes.
please make sure that people can see your logo. Because on a lot of these replicated sites and these templated sites, it only gives you so much room.
Right.
And then the logo is super, super tiny
Mhm.
and it just doesn't look professional.
Right. And and I'm one of I'm all about doing your own website. I get it.
Yeah. People have to save money.
Yeah,
It's
so
expensive.
Yeah, exactly. But if you're going to do it right. And when I say do it right, do not go to a Wix, a Weebly. There's
The ready-made
the ready-made
templated sites.
templated sites. Do it. WordPress is
WordPress is
easy.
the one.
And if you ever have problems, there's so many people that can help you. But do it right. And like you said, the templated site, if you don't know how to manipulate the logo section, which would be right here, when someone lands on your website, they need to know where they landed. And that logo is so important. So
Yes.
like with this website, it's the logo, navigation.
And then there's all this white space. We were talking about white
White
space.
space
If you're
is-
in advertising or marketing, white space is a thing. So
White space is great.
Yeah,
White
so
space is
clean.
okay.
Got it
Yeah.
clean, and we have it where the primary
Right.
calls to action are right
Mhm.
there above the fold.
Yep, exactly.
So then we covered the header, and
Yep.
then that part in the middle there, the hero section.
This is the
right?
hero section,
Okay.
right? And real quick, in the subheader up here, we've got the phone number and the email.
Yes, and then if you
Everything
happen to
right
be
there.
looking at it, I don't even know where. Oh, here's my phone.
Yep.
If you happen to be
So-
looking at it on one of these, or if
Mhm.
you're smart and you have an Android, because I need big dots for tiny tots.
Go Android.
You can just hit the top part of that website header and it'll
Mm-hmm.
automatically call. You guys have seen that happen, right? So make sure your website's doing the same thing.
Yep, absolutely.
Make it easy.
Yeah, easier the
People
better.
are lazy.
Yeah, it's all about ease of navigation. Just
Mhm.
remember that.
Big dots.
So let's talk about the above the fold,
Mhm.
which Jen has a cool little story about the
Yeah.
fold.
Used to be like a newspaper term, right?
Mhm.
Because you got the newspaper folded in half, and what you
Right.
see on the newsstands is the top part above the fold. So that should be the most engaging part, right?
Yep.
Same.
Absolutely. Same thing.
Emails,
With a website.
same.
Above the fold. So on this one here, we're looking at the above the fold is that image in the background that's kind of subdued. It shows people in a classroom because that's what they do. These people teach.
Mm-hmm.
So we went with a classroom, but then right in front of it gives you a real quick explanation.
Yeah, it's
of
like
the
a little
page that you're
synopsis
on.
of what
Yes.
they do and the
Yep.
page you're on and why you should be there.
Yep.
So they're building high performance,
Yes.
self-organizing, agile
Mhm.
teams.
Yep.
And aligning
Yep.
senior leaders to support organizational change. Boom, I got that pretty quick, and I don't really
Yep.
read well on camera in front of people.
Right.
But then you have the two
the
big
two calls
buttons
to
there,
action.
and everything is above the fold. And then
Mhm.
we have other parts of the website that are also really important and show that you have a professional looking website. And that's
Right.
going to be what's the next one? Footer?
So
Or we're talking about,
Well, actually, we'll just scroll down this page
Yeah.
and we'll talk about each section.
okay, cool.
So after the above the fold, we're going into the body of your website. And with this company here, we chose 3 of their most important services. And they're right there. So you're either coming to this website for training, consulting, or a recruitment into what they do.
Right. And if you have like a home service company and you perform like 17 different home services, like pick your top, no more than like 6,
Right.
3, 4 would be good. Most profitable things are the things that you really want customers to book from you the most,
Yes.
like air conditioning installation, like replace your air conditioning. Like that's a good profitable part of your business.
Yep.
That should be one of your offerings if you do that with your
Yeah.
like AC, plumbing, and electrical.
Mhm.
So that's an idea. You don't have to list everything because I
Right.
know a lot of people have a lot more than just one offering.
Yep. And there are people out there that when you land on their website, it is so, there's so much stuff on it that
It's overwhelming.
overwhelming, and the people are going to bounce right off of it.
Yeah.
And your bounce rate is probably 80%. And some people think that's great. Not me.
No.
Some people
And
think,
we'll talk
"Oh,
about what to look at on your analytics in
Mhm.
another live stream because I know that's confusing for a lot of people, including
Yep.
me. So we'll talk about what to look for too.
Yes.
So you guys can be educated on
Right.
marketing your website to the analytics and to the data and the stats and the facts.
Yeah, it's
Just
all
the
about
facts,
the facts.
ma'am.
So, reputation, we talked about last live.
But look how cute their
stream.
little reviews are showing up.
Yes, it's all about reviews. Everybody's looking for testimonials, and the visitors that are going to be using you, whether it be buying products from you or a service that you offer, or it could even be an organization out there providing a service for whatever. I do a couple nonprofits that do therapeutic writing. Everybody that lands on your website, they're
Gets to see
looking-
their reviews. They
Yes.
want to see those. It's super
Yeah.
important. It's super
Yeah.
important for every business. And then having
Mhm.
the little picture show up of the
Yeah.
person that left the review is great because then it gives you a little human connection
Yes.
and interaction. So we know, probably we're less likely to believe that they made
Mhm.
that up
Yeah,
because it's
well,
got the person's name right there.
Absolutely, because I can tell you right now that the troll that I am, and there's many people out there, will look at these reviews and go to Facebook
Mhm.
and look it up, because there's nothing worse than a business or an organization or whatever you are putting false information on your website. And
Yeah, that's
a
terrible.
lot of people do it when it comes to testimonials. So like last week, we talked about Bird Eye, which is our
Right.
partner.
They help you with all
They
your
help you with
listings.
all your
and your
local listings
reviews.
and reviews.
Reviews are super, super easy to get.
Yeah.
Because that's
and
a
especially with Bird
time-consuming,
Eye.
it's a really time-consuming part of your business,
Yep.
garnering those
So,
reviews.
Reviews, very important. Have them on your website. Whether have something short and brief on your homepage, and then have a separate page for testimonials. On our website we call it kudos.
Yes,
So yeah, I love kudos.
kudos.
So,
Everybody loves that.
Yep. So here we
Feels
are.
good too.
Next section. So I always recommend on your homepage to have a real quick small paragraph. Doesn't have to be a book. Actually, if it's a book,
you'll lose people.
Yeah. A nice short paragraph of who you are as a company, who you are as an organization. If you're an individual, a professional speaker, a coach, who are you?
Yeah.
Something real quick.
Really brief.
Yes. Nice and quick and easy.
And then right underneath there.
Yep. Is that beautiful big call to action. This company here, we went with, are you ready to get started? And you just basically click that big yellow button and we are funneling them to where we want them to go.
Where they're going to either make the purchase or sign up or do whatever. Another thing we see on websites would be what we call a lead magnet. And we're going to talk about that in another live stream. But that's where you have a button and you're asking for information, but you're offering something of value at no cost to that consumer.
Right.
But what you're getting in return is their email address or their phone number or both. And so we want to talk about a lead magnet in one of our next lives and how important it is to collect email addresses.
And after we talk about this footer here real quick, I'll show you an example of a great little lead magnet on another client website. So,
sweet.
So a footer. What the heck goes into a footer? And I'll actually show you another example of another footer that's actually it's asking for more information. So with that being said, so in a footer, you want them simple. You don't want
just like the header.
Yeah. Simple. So what we went with here on this website is just the simple, and I keep saying simple.
Yeah, that's your favorite word today.
I guess so. So
but I know what you're saying. Yes.
Contact information.
Contact information.
Yes. Yep. So we went with the contact information, quick links to get to different parts of the website.
Yep.
Add their logo. And then, of course, at the bottom, the copyright and who it was made by. So
yes, of course. Pat yourself on the back. Yeah.
So simple footers. But see, the thing is, the footer as well as the header is on every single page of your website.
So sometimes they call that the global header, don't they?
Yes, that's exactly.
And that's where you put code. And if you have any idea what I'm talking about, then good for you.
Section. Yep. In the head section of your code is where you're going to put like your Google Analytics code or your pixel information from Facebook.
And this is all only for your benefit so that you can gain more customers and drive more traffic and make a better impression. So people trust you. They'll like you, know you, trust you better if you have a professionally done website or professionally done, or so that it looks like it's professionally done. If you're tech savvy, because this girl, the back office of WordPress makes me want to cry. I can't ask him. But for anybody else who's a little bit more patient than I am, use WordPress. I mean, there's plenty of ways to get in there and do that. And there's
plenty of help.
And not only that, but if you have Brian do your website and you want to be able to get in there sometimes just to do a couple things, but you don't want to know how to do everything, he can teach you how to do that too. So there are ways to have the best of both worlds.
Yeah. I love doing how-to videos. So you asked me how to do it. Yes. Yeah. Well, and I do videos for everything. You ask me to show you how to do something, you're going to get an explanation in a video and it's going to walk you completely through the process. So it's, I like, so cool. I like to say I'm
big dots for tiny tots.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I love doing it. So
he does.
So real quickly, let's take a look at a couple other websites.
We're going to look at a couple other websites and then we're going to start talking about how to drive traffic using search engine marketing.
Yep. And SEO.
So
first things first, let's take a look here. And this is a local company. They're in Lakewood Ranch, pool company. Real simple website.
I like the colors. Yeah.
Colors are good.
Very clean website.
Yeah, very clean website. But if you look up here, well, they clean. They're cleaners.
They are.
Cleaners. Up here in the header, you've got the phone number and the email address. And then their calls to action in their above the fold, that hero section.
Yep.
I mean, when you land on this website, you know exactly what you landed on, a pool service.
No question.
Yep. Easy buttons. It's nice. So next one we'll look at, and actually let's scroll up here to the top. They are out of Massachusetts. It's a salon. We actually just completed this website a couple of weeks ago, but their big call to action is right there.
Book an appointment.
Yep, book an appointment. It's not in the hero section.
Once you can, everybody's going to be booking an appointment, y'all. Myself
They're
included.
They're going to be busy. Yep, I'm gonna call them and get some.
My girl did a good job blending last time I went, so I'm not as hard up as some of you root cover up fans out there. Which boy, I went through some root cover up in the past, but anyway.
Pretty sure
I digress.
lost my roots.
But I like her website because she's got that make an appointment right there, but then she has her social links right above it. So I can see kind of like what's the personality of the salon.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. And then when you don't have to scroll very far to get the next calls to action, which would be they want you to look through their gallery and then they want you to book them. So it's all about booking an appointment with this business.
Which is why their call to action is right there at the top, and that's what it is. They want you in the walking through the door.
Yep.
For sure.
So let's go.
Oh, there's one more part to the website.
Down here.
We were going to talk about.
What's that?
The blog.
Oh, the blog. Yeah, we'll get to the blog. Let me show this footer.
Okay.
So this footer, we've got the logo with the big call button. So you push that button, it calls. So it's got their contact information. But if you look in the middle, we've incorporated the sign up for their newsletter. So people can enter their information, subscribes to their newsletter, whatever they're using.
And they could even have on here, hey, sign up for our newsletter, and then you get this free PDF on how to do your own hair or something like that. That's a lead magnet.
Yeah, absolutely.
I digress.
And,
we're over time.
Nope, you're good. Here's a great lead magnet.
There it is.
Right there. Fill that information out. Now the business owner has that information to connect with that person. And by the way, Bill, shout out to you. Big Bill's here local. So if you're looking for clean water, Bill's the man. So there you go, Bill.
There you go, Bill. Got a shout out.
All right. So what do we want to talk about? Blogs.
We're going to talk about blogs because we want that to lead into talking about SEO before we run out of time. We're supposed to be keeping these to 30 minutes. I talk a lot.
Yeah.
So blog. So blog is a part I do, but so do you.
Yeah.
Anyway, blog is a part of your website. Another cool thing that I used to tell my clients all the time, and I still do, is if you have a YouTube channel and you're finding it easier to vlog, like you're a Brian and you like doing the video, it seems like it's easier for you.
Yes.
You can transcribe everything that you said out of your mouth on that video. YouTube will transcribe it for you. Then you're going to have to go through and kind of proofread it, and then you can copy paste it and put it onto your blog tab on your website, but you got to add some links into it so that it's linking to credible websites. And then that is SEO. So search engine optimization, optimizing the website so that the search engines can find you when those multiple phrases and multiple search queries are typed into those search engines. That's where they're going to be pulling, okay, this website is credible, and they actually are going to be able to provide information to this consumer. Yep. We want, Google, Bing, they're businesses. They're in it for the money. So they want to make sure that when you're using their product, you're having a relevant result. So that's why SEO is so expensive. It's time you put into your website. It's a lot of effort, and the time is the one thing you can never get back. So you want to make sure that this is something that you're investing in. Either you're investing your money or you're investing your time.
Yeah.
Because SEO is not cheap.
And don't forget patience.
Patience.
Yeah, it's one of those, SEO.
Fresh out of that.
Yeah, we
homeschooling.
And here's
I don't want to talk about it.
One irritating thing that I see all the time. You see a lot of people on the internet, on the interwebs, saying that SEO is dead.
That's fake news.
That's the dumbest crock of crap I think I've ever heard. It's simply because they've either given up
or they're selling something else.
That's exactly right. Because I'm here to tell you right now, SEO is not dead. SEO has changed a lot. And if you're not current with the changes, of course SEO is dead to you because you don't know how to do it.
Right.
So
don't get them started on that. I can tell you're ramping up now.
Yeah, there's so many morons out there in the world today that'll tell you that, and you just want to kick them down the road like a can. Because so there you go. I got my rant.
He got his rant in.
Got my rant.
He's not done.
Yes, got my rant.
Okay. So does hopefully everybody has a good understanding,
Yep.
and that's a very brief overview of SEO.
Very brief overview.
A whole lot more involved in it.
And there
meta
is
tags on the back
yeah.
end of your website, meta
Yep.
descriptions that you need to
Yep.
have, which is why you need a professional web designer,
Correct.
or you need to really learn how to do that yourself.
Mhm. Yeah, there's also alt tags and then schema code.
Why are you making up words?
Love making up words. So
Trying to keep this.
yes, so all those things
layman's terms
together
here.
and a few other things, but yes, SEO. All right, sorry, time-wise.
Time-wise.
Here we go. Going on.
All right,
Chop,
so
chop.
SEO takes time. Speaking of time, takes time to build up the
Yes.
ranking. So you want to come up pages. So you know how they say, where's the best place to hide a dead body? Second page of Google.
Yeah.
Why? Nobody goes there.
Exactly.
It's my favorite marketing
Yep.
joke. You guys have all heard it. Laugh anyway. But it takes a long time. It can take 3, 6, 9, 12 months, depending on your industry
Absolutely.
and your competition. So what if you were like, dude, who's talking?
That would be.
Oh, sit up straight. Sorry, Mom. I don't even know what I was saying. Thanks a lot. You totally distracted me. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Let's just say that you don't have that kind of time. But Jen, I need to make money now. Can't I just pay somebody to show up in search results? Well, yes, you can.
Holy
You
cow.
can pay the Google.
Let's talk about paying the Google.
So that's search engine marketing
yes. Otherwise,
Marketing.
it's always been known.
or search
as-
engine money. You could also
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
But we-
Yeah.
pay per click.
It's kind of like having a Harley or a Jeep. The M stands for money. If you don't come up with $1,000, you ain't gonna get anything cool.
That's
So-
probably right. I don't know anything about
Yeah.
that. That's your area of expertise.
Yeah. So SEM
So
is
we're-
definitely. It used to be. It used to be referred to all the time as pay per click.
Pay per click,
Yeah.
PPC.
Mhm.
Or Google has a term that they coined AdWords.
Yes.
So it's all the same thing. So when you type in your search query in Google, you know how at the top you'll have ad, and then you may have a Maps result or a Google My Business result maybe on one
There
side.
we
Depends
go.
on if you're looking on your
Ooh.
phone or your desktop. But the results that have the ad next to them obviously are the ones that have been paid for.
Exactly. And so we did a real quick search just before the show on hotels in Bradenton, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we look here, it's obvious that the maps are first. Then we go into what we call the organic search results.
Yeah, and in this case, that paid ads are just at the bottom.
Yep.
So
There
if
you
you
go.
just because you pay for an ad doesn't mean you're going to show up at the top. They can pick to
Mhm.
put you at the top or the bottom. Here's another cool thing we're going to talk about in another live stream is your
Mhm.
quality score on your website.
Yeah.
Because you may have a competitor who pays $3, and this is probably way low for any vertical, but let's say
Mhm.
they pay $3 for their ad word, and you're bidding on the same word and you're paying $5. They're still going to maybe show up ahead of you, even though you paid more. And it's because their quality score is better. So Google's saying, we're going to show them above this guy, even though they paid more money. So
Yeah.
that's
So,
another reason
yeah.
why you want your website done correctly.
Yeah, and to drive up that quality score, it's doing SEO correctly and consistently, and not giving up. And
Yes.
yes,
Doing the SEO all the time, but search engine marketing, paying for those AdWords, that you may not need to
Yep.
do that all the time. Some verticals do have to pay year round.
Mhm.
Some don't. So it just
Right.
depends. You may only need it to get to the point where you are good with your SEO, and then you don't have to pay for it anymore. It's not a hard and fast marketing, you have to pay for this. Like SEO is something you really have to be doing
Mhm.
consistently throughout the life of your business.
Correct.
Paying for your AdWords, maybe not. So consult a professional, hopefully a transparent one.
Mhm. Yeah, and it all comes when it comes to the pay per click or the SEM, whatever you want to call it. If you don't set it up right from the start, you're going to waste a lot of money.
Mhm.
And if you're not monitoring and managing it, then you're really going to be wasting a lot
Right.
of money
Right.
because you're gonna show up in search queries that have nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
But
So-
some ding-a-ling's going to click on you, and you're going to pay for it.
Yep.
So and since we're on SEO, the one thing I like about you got the pay per click, which every time somebody clicks on you, it's going to charge you for the click. See, I like social marketing. So when we go down that path later in the series, you're paying for the impressions. So we are going to say, we're going to pay this much money to put my advertisement in front of this many people.
Yep. Totally different thing.
Yeah. Totally different. Love that better than the pay-per-click. So yeah.
Yeah, lots of ways to drive traffic and advertise and market your website.
Yep.
But you are going to pay management fees if you hire an agency. Mm-hmm. Like I said, just make sure it's a transparent one that lets you know what they are, because industry average is about 30 to 40%. But when I was out selling this actively in the community, I ran across 50 and 60% management fees all the time. And the business owners didn't even know. So it's something that you can share with your friends that are business owners. Hey, do you know what your management fee is on your search engine marketing budget? Check them out. Make sure you send them our way, and we'll be happy to take a look for them.
Yep, absolutely. So, yeah.
And we have so many more things to talk about with search engine marketing that we're going to have to parlay that into a new discussion, because what we want to do is go over our questions.
Yes.
These are good questions. So I will go ahead and read from Melanie Burns.
Okay.
She's a realtor, a fabulous luxury realtor here in the area. And a really good friend of mine. Mm-hmm. And she has just created a website for her business, and she wants to know how she's going to drive traffic to it. So before we get into answering this question, what I will say is, here's the disclaimer. When it comes to your vertical, like if you're a realtor, if you're a financial advisor, if you're a lawyer, a doctor, you're going to have all sorts of different rules of engagement. Mm-hmm. If you have an MLM, you're going to have different rules of engagement. You might not be allowed to buy AdWords or set up your own website. But if you have no restrictions, there's innumerable ways to drive traffic to your website. Yep. So I would say we just talked about the two most popular ones, which are making sure you have good SEO, and if you need to, buy some AdWords. Other ways that you can do that, and we'll talk about these more in depth, is social media. We are going to It's going to be a whole series on social media. Yeah. But that's another way you can drive traffic to your website. Mm-hmm. So
we just series went over social media. While we're on that, is going to go really in depth in like each platform, so it's going to be good.
Yes. It'll be really, really good info. So I know that sort of kind of answered your question, Melanie. So hopefully that was enough to get you started. And then you and I are going to be talking some more about how to do that. Right. And then we have Brandy. So Brandy Joyner is a fabulous esthetician in the Bradenton, Sarasota, Lakewood Ranch area. And what she's asking, and she actually sent us two questions, so we're going to spend some time with Brandy. All right. So she says, is the only way to get noticed on a Google search is to pay the fee so she shows up at the top? Well, I think we just answered that. So we said, no, not necessarily if you have good SEO.
Correct. It's one of those things that, like we said before, that you need, if you're not doing it, you need to start doing it, but then you have to continue to do it.
Yes. And then we were talking about blogs.
Yep.
And we said
blog.
The minimum for the blog is once a month.
Yeah.
Once a week is good, or once a week is better, but
once a week would be wonderful. But then again, it's consistent.
I mean, you might have time now. I don't know, but just make sure whatever you start now,
that's true.
You have time to keep going and doing when you do go back to work. Okay. Right. That's a point. Mm-hmm. So she was told that the more check-ins she has, the better, because it boosts the rating on Google. Is this true, even if she doesn't have a paid advertisement? Yeah. I mean, it will help you, but it's not going to help you as much as you think. And it definitely will not take the place of SEO.
No, in order to drive your Google score, I like to call it my popularity score. In order to drive that up, it's not about check-ins. It's about local directories, review management, blogging, and SEO.
Yes.
Yeah. Those are very, very important.
And I'm glad that she brought this point up. She says she received one client from an Instagram post, she knows for a fact, and then that person brought in 3 more clients. So she's wondering, her website.
Word of mouth.
Yep, it's word of mouth. Yep. And she says she tends to focus on Instagram. I don't think any of my clients came through my website. Does it matter what industry does it matter in, okay. Are the rules the same for driving visitors to your website, regardless of what industry you're in? Well, we kind of just talked about that.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Unless you have some rules of engagement
Right.
that you're not allowed to do. I know financial advisors are super hard to work with because they have so many restrictions on advertising, even on social media, what they
They've
can
got
post.
rules.
So many rules. So
Yep.
that whole thing that you're talking about, Brandy, that's word of mouth. So if I'm at a cocktail party and I'm talking to Mary and then Shelly overhears me, but she doesn't hear everything, she only hears the name of your business, what's she going to do? She's probably going to whip out one of these and Google the name so she can find out more about you. So if she feels like your website is a little bit less professional or it takes too long to load, she may think she has the wrong person. She may just skip you altogether. So websites are very important for every single business. And I cannot stress this enough. It's your online first impression. It would be like sending somebody to your storefront and you're not ready for them kind of thing. So, and then it says, her second question, how important is a website? I think I just answered that. If you use Instagram and Facebook for marketing. Yeah, I pretty much primarily do too. But I definitely know that a website is the most important part of your online presence for all the reasons that we talked about here.
Yes.
And then she said, the question for Jennifer, what's the difference between a social media manager / content creator and what I do? So I am a marketing strategist. So I can help business owners strategize marketing campaigns beyond just social media. So that I would say would be the main difference.
Yep.
But having a social media manager or somebody to do content creation for you is super important if you're too busy to do it yourself or you're just not creative.
Yeah, well, especially that last part, the thing with social is if you're not a creative, there's ways to be creative. If you're not creative, there are ways to do it. But when you start down the social media path, you need to be consistent and you need to make your posts engaging,
Yep.
So you're going to,
I can't wait to do a social media. I can't wait when we talk about engagement and posts and all that fun stuff. It's going to be,
video, huge.
And stories and stickers and all kinds of fun things. See, you can tell I used to scrapbook. Yeah.
I used to
crafty.
eat scrapbooks. But the nice thing is, when the world starts moving again and people start getting busy, you as a business owner, you're going to have more important things to do than running your freaking website or trying to stay up with your social.
Right.
And that's where a marketing agency like ours comes into play.
Yep.
Because we have the creatives that can do everything for you while you focus on running your business.
Right.
It's one of those things, you always see people trying to run everything themselves.
Too many hats.
And that just tells me they're not busy enough.
Right.
So something's got to give.
Got to give. And then finally, are there marketing principles that apply no matter what industry you're in and if you work solo or work with a team? Oh, yes, there are absolutely principles that apply regardless. One of those being have a professionally done or a professional looking website.
Mm-hmm.
That has a proper load speed. And please do not look at these services that offer to increase the speed of your website with just a click or adding or this or that. It's no bueno. Anything that you think that you might want to do to your website that you've created yourself, feel free to ask us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we'll tell you the truth. No, that's garbage, or yeah, that probably will work for you.
Yep.
If you don't have the money, you need to have the time. And hopefully we're all going to be way too busy when we go back to work that we won't have the time. So that's why we're trying to give you some beneficial information, some food for thought, maybe some things we talk about in here, give you an idea that, oh, maybe I should think about this. So I think that we're wrapping up.
I think so. And on, with, coming here to the end, if you want to hear, like, even just for me, I can blab on. If you want to hear about a specific piece of software, platform, plugin, whatever, let me know.
Yes.
And I will do a live about whatever you want to know to get.
He likes video.
To let you know.
So
we'll
do
it easy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then there was one other thing I was going to say. Mm-hmm. We talked about the shallow dive on the websites because a lot of people, I get this all the time. Hey, I want you to take a look at my website. Hey, can you take a look at my website? Mm-hmm. So when somebody says, take a look at your website, there's a deep dive that takes hours and hours and lots of Brian's time. because I want to make this clear. I am not a web designer. Brian is the website expert. So what we're going to offer people is right now, because things are online, and we're going to offer a shallow dive for a very, very low fee to give you an idea of what we think. How's the speed? What's going on? So if you're interested in that, please message us and let us know, and we'll be happy to take a look at it.
Yep.
We do it
absolutely.
for free, but Brian's super busy updating everybody's websites, and he can't work for free right now.
Trying.
He's pulled all his hair out. I mean, just look at him.
Yeah.
So I think that
Not looking
concludes today's live stream. And we'll be back next Thursday at 2:00. And I think I might be doing some replays, some hosted replays of these too.
Yes, that would be cool.
If you would like for me to
Watch
jump
parties.
in your group and host a replay of any of these videos and a watch party, just let me know. Bye, y'all.
Bye now.
Have a great day. It's beautiful outside.
Yep. Enjoy your day. Bye.